Hi there. I've been making a video of roasting a turkey in cast iron for Thanksgiving for the past several years now. Each year I've learned something, and each year the recipe seems to have gotten easier than the year before. This has led me to realize there are two really important things about roasting a turkey, and I've done my best to share these important rules with you. And those rules are very simple. First, it's nearly impossible to mess up a turkey. It's actually quite easy to make, though it seems difficult because we're doing a lot of things at the same time while we prepare for Thanksgiving dinner. But no matter how you prepare your Thanksgiving turkey, as long as you follow the second rule, you're guaranteed to have a great bird. And that second rule is to cook your turkey to the right temperature. Whether you roast your turkey the old-fashioned way, or deep fry it, or spatchcock it, or smoke it, or make a trash can turkey, as long as you use a thermometer and cook it to the right temperature, you're guaranteed to have a wonderful Thanksgiving turkey. Here, I'm using a method that I first tried a few years ago, and I got great results, especially because I made sure to use a thermometer while cooking. It's very simple, and it doesn't require a lot of work, although you do have to be sure to thaw out your turkeys so it's ready at least a day before. I hope you enjoy it.
Earlier this year, I used a dry brine on a turkey, and that dry brine certainly did keep the turkey tender and moist, but there was something about the lack of extra liquid that made the meat seem more dry than I had expected. Maybe it's because I've been using a wet brine turkey my entire life. Because of that, we're going with my favorite wet brine, which is made simply by mixing whole milk and vinegar to produce a curdled milk brine. This has the consistency of buttermilk, but it's a lot less expensive. We simply mix in a lot of kosher salt and our spices, and the brine is ready to be used. We don't even have to boil the brine before using it. Which means it's time to take out the turkey. Because this is going into the brine, we don't even need to wash it. Be sure to remove the neck and also the giblet bag.
Oh, by the way, this is the turkey neck. I read a story the other day about a kid who started to prepare the turkey for the first time in his life, and he thought this was some other part. Giblet bag is back here.
And we add it to the bag, and here comes the brine. And into the refrigerator it goes for at least 24 hours. The next day, it's time to bring out the cast iron. Here's my favorite turkey roasting pan, a number 14 size cast iron skillet that I call Stumpy. Since this is going to be a heavy bird in a heavy roasting pan, I like to double up the oven racks to be sure they don't collapse. We place the pan into the oven and heat up the oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. And while the pan is heating up, we prepare a very simple spice rub for the turkey. I'm making this turkey with as little effort as possible, so we don't even have to push any butter or spices underneath the skin. And when the oven is at 450 degrees, the turkey comes out of the brine. We leave the pan in the oven while preparing the turkey so we can be sure the thick cast iron pan also reaches the temperature of the oven. After patting the bird dry, we fold the wings underneath. Then we rub the rub all over the bird. Be sure to use all the rub because there's really no reason to save it. And now comes possibly the most important part of cooking the turkey. We insert a probe thermometer into the breast to keep track of the temperature as it bakes. It's absolutely essential to use a thermometer to make sure the turkey reaches the correct temperature. And now the hot cast iron pan comes out of the oven, and here comes the turkey. Placing the turkey into the hot cast iron pan will give some extra cooking to the underside of the turkey, and this will ensure the dark meat and the white meat are thoroughly cooked. And into the oven it goes. Now we set the target temperature. I have to admit, I didn't entirely trust this wireless thermometer, and I added a second thermometer to the turkey to be absolutely sure the temperature was correct. And now we wait. And after about 2 hours, the first part of our turkey roast is done. It doesn't look like much yet, but then we're not finished yet. And like he said, now we cover the bird with foil and let it rest while we heat the oven to 500 degrees. This is so we can give the turkey a final blast of heat to finish roasting and get that crisp skin everybody loves. Now that the oven is ready, we baste on some of these juices. And brushing on the pan juices makes the bird look much better already. And now comes the good part. And back into the oven for a 500-degree blast. Now we give the turkey a final roast for only 15 minutes. And when that's finished, our turkey is done. And one last basting, and we are ready. And with that, all we need to do now is let the bird rest for about 10 minutes or so. We can move it to a serving platter, and now we're ready to enjoy our cast iron roast turkey.
So without a lot of effort, I had a turkey that would be a good centerpiece for Thanksgiving or any time of the year, with breast meat that wasn't dried out and flaky, along with crisp roasted skin that would impress any of your guests. The entire time to roast the turkey, from taking it out of the brine to serving it, was about 3.5 hours. But what's important is this turkey was cooked to the right temperature, and I can't guarantee it'll be done in your kitchen in the same amount of time. Back in 2017, when I tried this recipe for the first time, it took nearly 6 hours to cook the turkey, but that was because my oven was dying and couldn't get hot enough to quickly cook the turkey. But because I used a thermometer, the turkey still turned out as good as the one made today in less than half of that time. So, if nothing else, the one thing I want to ask is that you use a thermometer and cook your turkey to the right temperature. Then, no matter how you make it, you'll be guaranteed to have a Thanksgiving turkey you won't forget. And of course, it certainly helps to cook it in cast iron. Thank you for watching.